Judging by the calls that we're getting in, the texts that we're getting in, there are more people pro Rashford than anti. We've got Steve travelling on the M1 in his lorry. I'm a committed Spurs fan. I take Marcus Rashford all day, even if he's half fit and sits on the bench. He's still better than Timo Werner. And Ryan, do we want Rashford? No, however, a half-baked Rashford is still better than the rest that we've got out there at the moment up top. He can keep the ball, which would take some pressure off the defence that we have, especially down the left-hand side. And another one, Jeff Rashford is a far better player than Højlund and Xerxes put together. So, yes, we should keep Marcus Rashford. It sounds like a lot of United fans would still love to see him in a United shirt again.
Yeah, it's interesting because before maybe the last half hour or so, I thought it was kind of leaning the other way. I thought the more of the opinions that were coming in from United fans were saying, no, it's time up, we need to move on. But I take your point, in the last half hour or so there's been more saying that, you know, a fit and a Rashford playing well. Well, I don't think there's any doubt about that. Listen, I don't think there's any doubt a Marcus Rashford playing well gets into that Manchester United team. But there's just maybe a little bit of a case for me, Jeff, of you play some of your better games when you don't play at this moment in time. And because United are on this such really, really poor run, I think people have forgotten that Marcus wasn't great before it.
Yeah, and you can't just flick a switch.
No.
You know, we saw with, I mean, I'm sorry to pick on him, but we saw with Jesse Lingard, who'd been a fantastic footballer and the such like. Then he lost his way.
Yeah.
And I think we all
Dele
expected
Alli.
him to come back. Dele Alli, the same thing, but it just hasn't happened.
No, it's not. I just think it's my own opinion, you know. Does a fully fit Marcus Rashford play well getting that Manchester United team? Yeah, you better believe he does, and he's one of the better players. I take that point. But I just think the relationship's over and it's best for both parties to move on.
Yeah, and just to give that balance, Christian from Macclesfield said, guys, trust me, the majority of Manchester United fans want Rashford to move on. Let's take some calls, shall we? 03717 223344, the number to call if you want to join the show. That's exactly what Phil has done. Morning, Phil.
Morning, Phil.
Morning, chaps. How we doing?
Doing very well, thank you.
Good, mate. What's your view on Rashford?
I've just been listening to what you're saying about United fans wanting to stay. I don't understand that. Yes, when he's on form, he's a great player, but how often is he on form? He's not. His attitude's not right. And somebody said it's like he's been made a scapegoat like Januzaj and like Lingard. Lingard was a clown who needed to go, like Pogba, who spent more time on the social media and doing daft dances than getting their head down and doing the jobs. They all think they've made it. Rashford spends half his time in the States at the side of a court side watching basketball. His head's not in it, so get him gone.
No chance of turning the clock back. I mean, when you think of a couple of years ago, how impressive he was.
No, when he's on it, and he's fantastic, and he had the potential to be a world beater, in my opinion. But his attitude's all wrong. I don't know who's advised him, and he's burnt those bridges now. You can't come out, give us an interview saying, I'm ready for a new challenge, I'll always be a Red. No, you won't. Sorry, you don't get to choose that. We do. We're the fans that pay the tickets. We're the ones that are there in the stands. His head's not in it. You see him with his head down. His head's not in it. He's not got a place to fight for it anymore. He needs to move on.
Thanks for the call,
thanks,
Phil. I don't necessarily agree with Phil, but where I would maybe take issue with something that he said, I still think there's time for Marcus Rashford to go. He's 27, Jeff.
Yeah.
He's 27 years of age. Now, I think he should move from the club and go and grab an opportunity somewhere, right? And just go and give it everything he's got. Surely, unless Marcus Rashford is just sitting back thinking, I've got enough money, that's me, I'm fine. Now, I don't think that'll be the case. But he has to look at the two players we've mentioned. He's got to look at Lingard. He's got to look at Dele Alli and say, that realistically could be a road I'm going down if I don't get this sorted out.
But his attitude is the word that keeps popping up here. It's his perceived attitude anyway.
And I saw it a couple of times.
Yeah.
I saw it a couple of times where people were walking by him.
Yeah.
That's why, Jeff, that is why Liverpool fans will always accept Núñez. Right?
Yeah, he
out
gives
with his
everything.
goals. He's come on and scored 2 goals.
Gives everything.
And incidentally, those 2 goals could be the turning point which won Liverpool the league. But that aside, his attitude to play will always get the supporters and cut them slack, and so it should.
And by contrast, text here, I must be watching a different Rashford. No interest, no commitment. His ability is irrelevant if he doesn't have the correct attitude. The next one, no chance. Rashford's effort in the last 2 years is shocking, especially bearing in mind what he's getting paid. Well, what he's getting paid is almost irrelevant, really, isn't it?
Yes,
you know, whatever a player's getting paid, you just want him to put absolutely everything in. Adam is a Manchester United fan. Morning, Adam.
Morning, Adam.
Morning, guys. How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, good. What do you make of Marcus Rashford then?
Yeah, I just think it's more hassle than what it's worth. What he's got, I can't even. He's got what 10 goals or so, like 11 goals, Premier League goals in the past 2 seasons. For 300k a week, it's just not worth the hassle. I know he's a boyhood Man United boy and everything. I'd love for him to stay, but it's just not. It's just the effort again, like you were saying. It's not worth it. He's not showing what it's meant to be. He should be proud to wear that shirt, but it doesn't seem to be the case. And it's just, everything surrounding him as well. All this stuff about him going to America, blah blah blah. It's just, I'd rather it be out of the club, to be honest, and just crack on with the football.
Adam, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, Adam.
Chris says, fight for the team. What a joke. He said he's been walking around the pitch for the last 6 months. Let's get the thoughts of Nadeem, who's a United fan. Morning, Nadeem.
Morning, Nadeem.
Morning, Jeff. Morning, Ali. How you doing, guys?
Yeah,
Very well,
good, thanks,
thank you, mate.
What do you got to say?
Good, thanks. Great show, guys. I'm first-time caller. I mean, I just really wanted to say, Ali made some good points about, him having all the talent in the world, better than Xerxes, better than, Højlund or whatever we have. But, guys, I mean, I've been a Man United fan since I was 6, and the guy's got no hunger left. And I want to just understand Ali's opinion as an ex-professional football, because for me, as a Man United fan, they have to be hungry. If you're not hungry, it doesn't matter whether you're on £350,000 a week or £50,000 a week. Rashford has just got no hunger left. I mean, he doesn't smile as a human being. He's probably better going somewhere else where he's happy. But as a Man United fan, I just don't see any hunger. Absolutely. So, I mean, these comments about him coming out and saying he would fight for his place, I can't see it. I mean, I've not seen it for a couple of years. So what's going to change now? So, yeah, and we want to see more hunger from him. So, Ali's point was great about the talent, but how important is hunger, guys? Because it's got to be a massive issue with Rashford right now.
Nadeem, it's everything. I'll tell you right now, I think your attitude, I genuinely think your attitude's more important than your ability and your talent. Because if you don't apply your ability and your talent, you've no chance. So your attitude to play, for me, is the first thing, and it's the top thing. Any sportsman, any sportswoman, that is the thing that gets you to greatness. The talent is obviously the next thing, but if you don't have the attitude, you can forget it, mate. Absolutely forget it. And when we talk about attitude, we're talking about Núñez. You talk about guys like great United players like Brian Robson and Roy Keane. Their attitude was brilliant, but equally, guys that are different players to Keane and Robson and people like that. Guys like Beckham, for example. Beckham had enormous talent, but I always felt his attitude to play was absolutely first class. His attitude to work, his attitude to turn up. These are things that I just think are vitally important. I really do, Jeff.
Nadeem, thank you very much.
Thanks,
indeed.
Nadeem.
Make sure you call again. Greeno says, Jeff, Ali, don't you think the attitude is a Manchester United problem, not just Rashford?
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.